Welcome everyone to this week's Global Intelligence Update. And as always, we've got a great guest with us. Joining us this week is Donna Watts. Welcome, Donna.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's all a pleasure. Thank you for joining us. So for those that don't know who Donna is from Australia, who's an author, aromatherapist, and a certified infinite possibilities trainer. She loves to encourage people to dream their dreams and move towards them, living an inspired life, which we all are here to do. Join her as we help you reconnect to your dreams or reinforce your dreams if you're already on the right track. And Donna's got a great subject that she'll be talking on today, and it's about your dreams. So Donna, the stage is all yours.
Thank you very much. So welcome, everybody. I'm going to put a presentation up. So is that full screen for you there, Chris?
This is the one with the presentation view. That's showing right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can just say end slideshow and just reboot them there.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. So hopefully I can just...
Yeah.
Okay, so all good?
Perfect, thanks.
Excellent. Okay. So we're going to chat today about what is your dream. I'll skip my introduction because Chris has already done that for me. So I guess in current times, it's easy to get caught up in everyday life and lose sight. And lose sight of your dreams. And I find in my own circles and from other people that I talk to in their circles, anxiety and stress are much more prevalent than they have been before, and corporate burnout is more commonplace. So it can be tricky at times to navigate your own life, as well as keeping in touch with family, friends, and colleagues to check in on them. And even though we're more aware now to keep in touch with others, to check in on them, we also need to look after ourselves. And I'm not talking so much on a business level now, because we all have our businesses which we manage, nurture and grow. I'm talking about you, your soul and your being, keeping the light in your soul alive and burning, and waking up inspired and living your life with purpose and inspiration. And so I'd like to talk about you and your dreams of living by design, not default. And nobody was born to live small. Our natural setting is to thrive, not just survive. It takes some of us longer than others to realise it, but we're all here to make our mark and leave the planet in a better place for having lived here. So we don't all need to be an Elon Musk or a Richard Branson or a Bill Gates. I'm a Donna Watts, and even though 99.9% of the Earth's population haven't heard of me yet, I want to make sure that those who have heard of me have been enriched in some way for having crossed my path. So I'm going to ask you some questions now, and not for you to answer me, but just to think about the questions and answer them to yourself. So what is your dream? Like, what lights up your soul? And do you work towards manifesting your dream? Do you even know what your dream is, or have you lost it somewhere along the way? Now I'd like you to think about the GPS in your car for a moment. So when you want to go somewhere, you put the address in of where you want to end up, which is the end result. Then the GPS looks at where you want to go and it gives you a route on how to get there. You don't know, and you don't need to know the whole route. So you put the car in gear and your foot on the accelerator, And you travel one street at a time, one turn at a time, and eventually you turn up at your destination. And manifesting your dream is the same thing. You tell the universe what it is that you want. The universe, in its wisdom, looks at what you want, then works backwards to where you are. And as you step out and take your first baby step, the universe will open the next door for you. And yes, you have to take action. You can't just sit in your chair and say, bring it to me, because it will never happen. But as you step out in faith in the direction of your dream, the universe will help you because it conspires to work for you. So our thoughts become our reality. So we should focus on what we want, not what we don't want. If your life today is not as you want it, that is from the thoughts you had in the past. So if you want to change your life, change your thoughts. We should choose our thoughts and our words carefully, because what we put out there is important. The universe doesn't have good or bad. The universe just has what you focus on, and it will give you more of it, thinking it is helping you. So I'd like to give you an example of my own. Back in 2013, a little while back now, I was into physics, which, yes, a bit strange, but that's okay. And my dream at the time was to go to CERN, which is the European Organisation for Nuclear Research, based near Geneva. And I'm in Australia. So they hold open days or open weekends every 4 to 5 years. And my luck was in. They had an open weekend coming up in September of that year. And the most sought after tickets, of course, were those that allowed you down into the Large Hadron Collider. And because the tickets were so sought after, CERN released only small groups of tickets at different times and announced it on Facebook, and then you had to go to the site, tear to the site and just try and get a ticket if you could. And I told the universe at the time, if I can get a ticket into the Large Hadron Collider, I know that you'll get me to CERN somehow. And I don't know how, but I know it's going to happen. And I kept a close eye on the Facebook page. And after missing out on the first couple of releases, I saw they released a small batch of tickets. And I jumped straight on the website and I managed to get one. And I know I should have believed it, but I didn't really believe it at the time. I couldn't believe that I'd got this ticket. And as it turned out, a couple of months earlier, I thought totally unrelated at the time, I had joined a network marketing company, and they were running a competition, and the top 10 distributors in Australia would get an all expenses paid trip to the convention in Budapest. It just so happened that the CERN open days were over a weekend, and the same weekend, the winners from Australia were being flown to Budapest to arrive on Monday for the week-long convention. So, right, you know where this is going, right? I got a phone call from the company inviting me to the convention. And the funny thing was, I didn't even finish in the top 10. But some of those who didn't want to travel to Budapest. So they worked their way down the list and they found 10 people who said yes, and I was one of them. And I thought about it. I thought, oh, will I be cheeky? Won't I be cheeky? And I thought, yes, I will be cheeky. And I emailed the company, the network marketing company, and I just said, look, is there any possible way that you could fly me to Geneva a couple of days earlier instead of to Budapest? And I told them why. I told them it was a dream to visit CERN and I had the opportunity, and that if they could do that, I would then make my own way from Geneva to Budapest. And they did it. And I couldn't believe it. I was quite dumbfounded. So I've got the free ticket to Europe to CERN, and I just, oh yeah. So I was pretty dumbfounded. But this is an example of how the universe works. What were the chances of the CERN open weekend being the same weekend the network marketing company were flying the winners to Europe? And what were the chances on top of that enough people would say no to traveling to Europe so that I could say yes? So these are some of the photos from when I was at CERN, and the one on the left is in the Large Hadron Collider. And I know that, you know, some of you will look at that and think, what is she on? But it's my dream, right? So your dream will be totally different. But regardless of the dream, the steps are the same. You take the baby steps and a door will open. You take another step, another door will open. So my first step was to get that ticket to the Large Hadron Collider, and then the universe opened a door for me to get to Europe. And my second baby step was to ask the company if they could accommodate getting me to Geneva, and then the next door opened by them saying yes. So I mentioned earlier that our thoughts become our reality. But where do our thoughts come from? And they come from our beliefs. First off, we have our belief system. Our belief system is usually instilled in us when we're very young. Our beliefs can be influenced by family, religion, school, friends, the country we live in, all sorts of factors. And quite often we don't even know what all of our beliefs are. Our belief system will then influence our thoughts. Are your thoughts empowering and inspiring, or are they more limiting? And they might be inspiring in some areas, but limited in others. Our thoughts then become our life or reality. So if your thoughts are negative and limited all the time, that will influence your life. And on the other hand, if your thoughts are empowering and inspirational, that will also have a great influence on your life. And because our thoughts become our reality, because it is our thoughts that the universe works with, you can change your thoughts to start living by design rather than by default. Most of you, if not all of you, would have heard of Roger Bannister. And before Bannister, people thought running a mile in under 4 minutes was impossible. And in 94, he ran the mile in 3 minutes, 59 seconds, thereabouts. By 1978, over 200 athletes had run the mile in under 4 minutes because they knew it could be done. So don't wait for someone else to do something before you believe it can be done. If you believe you can do it, you can do it. And do your visualizing and think new thoughts if your old ones don't serve you. So I'm going to give you some simple steps to take now in relation to this. So the first one is to put your dream out to the universe and let it go. The hard part for many people is letting go. So don't try and work out how you're going to get to where you want to go. Just concentrate on the end result you desire and let the universe sort everything else out. That's the beauty of the universe. It will do all the heavy lifting for you if you allow it. I know some people have trouble giving up control, but if you want the universe to work its magic, you need to let it flow and go where it wants to go. Just let it do its thing. Number 2, there will always be some baby step that you can take to get started. Even if you think it's unrelated or not a big enough step, take it anyway. If you can't think of any possible step to take, do something related. Perhaps there's some research you can do, or some notes that you make, or a documentary that you might be able to watch, you know, on the internet or TV. Just do something to keep you moving. And number 3, don't put a time frame on your dream. The universe has got your back. Just keep thinking about the end result. As I said previously, the universe, in all its wisdom, sees what you want and then works backwards to where you are, imagining all the different scenarios, which is mind-boggling in itself, and giving you one open door at a time to keep you moving towards your result. And quite often, it will be a totally unexpected door that you could never have imagined. You don't need to concern yourself with any of the nitty-gritty. Quite often I say universe, and I'll use my Egyptologist dream as an example here. So I would say, universe, you know, I would love to become an Egyptologist, and I don't know how you're going to get me there, but I know that you will, and that I don't need to know about all the detail. I just know you'll work it out. So number 4, think of your dream or your dreams often. So a few minutes each day is all it takes, like literally 5 minutes. And if you miss a day, don't beat yourself up. Just find a few minutes again on the next day. Put emotion and feeling into it. Even if you feel a bit silly doing it, don't worry. It's only your conscious mind that tells you it's silly. Your subconscious mind is up for whatever you feed it. So if you feed it excitement and emotion in the past tense, as if you're already at your result, it's going to believe you. It wants the party. How does it feel? What are you wearing? What are you doing? Who are you with? Your subconscious mind won't tell you that you're being silly. And I'd like to do a very short exercise with you now to help those that may not be sure about visualization. So if you could please close your eyes for a couple of moments. And I want you to imagine a lemon, a nice bright yellow, perfect lemon. And I want you to pick it up and feel the texture of the skin as you touch it. Now I want you to cut a slice of that lemon. And you can smell a fresh, tangy lemon smell. And I want you to put that slice up to your mouth and taste the bitter, tarty taste of the lemon. So you can open your eyes now. That was just very brief. But that was a very short visualization for those new to the concept. It gives you an idea of what it's about. When you imagine the moment you want to be in, just feel it emotionally and feel it like you're there. So number 5, when the universe opens a door, step through it. Sometimes the doors that open are astounding. Sometimes they're just small steps. Regardless, step through it and then take your next baby step once you've stepped through. And you're one step closer to the next door opening. Number 6, take your next baby step and step through the next door when it magically appears. You need to step through each door as it opens before you and trust the universe knows what it's doing. As you step through the door in front of you, another one will open behind it, and so it will keep going. And of course, the last step is to keep going. Just never, never give up. And if your dreams are truly part of your soul, I know you won't give up. You don't have control over when your dreams will manifest, so there's no point trying to force it. Every dream has a germination period, and the universe will bring it to fruition at the right time. Don't try and put the universe in a box. Your dream will come to fruition when it is supposed to. Don't lose up hope, and don't give up hope. Some people give up just before the manifestation is going to happen. It's not up to you to decide when your dream will come to fruition. Just don't give up. The universe will look after you. Keep taking action, no matter how small, and know that it is coming. Bruce Lee called it living in flow. So just get in the energetic flow. Take one step at a time, no matter how small, then walk through the door that opens. Take the next step, walk through the next door. Let it flow and watch the magic happen. I know I keep repeating myself, but it's really that simple. Take a baby step, walk through the door, rinse, repeat. Don't close the door and tell the universe it's doing it wrong. Never try and anticipate the universe because you couldn't even come close. Another personal example, as I said earlier, of mine is to become an Egyptologist. So I left school once I finished high school because university wasn't really a thing when I was doing my schooling. But I thought about what I could do to start the process. And I figured schooling was it. So even though my thoughts are like not normal academia thoughts, I just keep that to myself, it eventually gives you the title, right? So I found the university in Australia that was best known for its ancient Egyptian studies, and I found out how to apply to the uni as someone who wasn't just out of high school. It involved enrolling in another website and doing a mini course conducted by the uni, and I did that. And I got offered a place to do a Bachelor of Ancient History, and so I'm about halfway through that at the moment. So I know the universe will hone things in for me as we go along, but I took the baby steps to get going, not knowing the full path. And I still don't know the full path, but I'm trusting that the doors will open as I travel down the road. So we've spoken about you, but I'd like to touch just very briefly on your business as well, because I'm sure you have a dream or dreams for your business. So if you are the only one in your business, it's a lot easier to dream your dream and work towards it. If you have staff, though, have you shared your business dream with them? And are they on board with you? And if you haven't, it might be a good time to do it. So everybody needs to be working towards a common goal. And if you have someone that doesn't buy into your dream, just find out what their priorities are and then work out how them helping you with your dream will also help them achieve their dream or priorities. And if you're not sure how to do that, just get somebody in to help you facilitate the process. There's also nothing to stop you having a short visualization exercise with your staff each day. And the process of manifesting is exactly the same. Have a little chat with the universe, let it go, and take your steps. So, in summary, what is your dream? Not your partner's, not your children's, not your business partner's, yours. What lights up your soul, makes you feel alive when you think about it? Tell the universe what it is and let it go. Don't try and work out how it is going to happen or when it is going to happen. Just know that it will happen. And take baby steps each day. Keep taking baby steps, actions towards your dream. Even if you don't think they are very much, it doesn't matter. Small steps in the direction of your dream. Number 4, keep your eyes and your soul on your dream. Don't get caught up in everyday life. Don't get stuck in the trenches of life. When you focus on what you want, the things you don't want tend to dissipate because you're not giving them energy. Number 5, if you get discouraged, don't give up. If you need backup, find someone to be your champion and cheer you on from the sidelines. You'll have times where you get down and discouraged. There will be times when you're not happy. You can't be happy all the time. But if you do get discouraged, it's good to know you have someone that will cheer you on, someone to lift you and get you back on track. I'd also like to mention that 97% of our human makeup is the same as that of stars. So you don't have to become a star because you are a star already. How can the universe want to do anything other than help you when you're a star in every sense of the word? Number 6, don't try and force anything. Go with the flow, get in the energetic groove and move in the direction of your dream. Most of all, have fun and let the magic happen. And I just wanted to tell you a short story about my sister. She recently had a health scare and she thought she was having a heart attack. She called the ambulance to get herself to hospital, texted her husband and texted me to let us know what was happening and that she'd be in touch. So in case you didn't realise, my sister is like an organiser. And she works in the entertainment industry and manages some very well-known artists, but she's had a very stressful and fast-paced life. And as it was, everything turned out fine. Even though she had the symptoms, the hospital couldn't find anything wrong. They thought it might have been stress. And when I was talking to her later, she gave a little chuckle and I won't never forget it. And she said, my epitaph would have read, she worked hard. Needless to say, my sister made some lifestyle changes because that's not what she wants on her epitaph, right? I don't think that's what any of us would want. So we're not here just to work hard. And if we let life get away from us, it's so easy to slip into the rut of everyday living. And quite often, it's not until someone has a near miss that they make changes and realise life isn't to be wasted. So what I've given you today is a very brief, easy to follow overview. And my wish for you today is for you to hold your dreams close and to live an inspired life, whatever that means to you. Don't be worried by what other people say. That's their problem, not yours. And follow your dreams. Take your baby steps, step through the doors as the universe opens them, and let the magic happen. And I'd like to finish with a quote from Steve Jobs. And he said, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and your intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become." So I'd like to thank you all. They're just my contact details if anybody did want them. Thank you for your time and for listening. And thank you, Chris. Back to you.
Oh, thank you, Donna. Thank you for sharing such an inspirational presentation and an eye-opening content. I have to say that was very, very cool. If there's anyone in the live chat that would like to ask Donna a question, you're more than welcome to unmute yourself, or you can just drop the question in the chat box and Donna can help you guys out. So, see, Stephanie's got her hand up.
Thanks. Hi, Donna. How are you?
Hi, Stephanie. Good.
Yes.
How are you?
Yeah, wonderful. This is always so overwhelming if we think about manifesting, and especially when you reflect on what already has happened. It's just goosebumpy. Wow, 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 all the time. I can speak for myself, like how things just worked out in my life.
Yes.
The good and the bad. The bad actually was blessings in disguise.
Yes.
So I really, really do support you with all your thoughts and your advice. I was just wondering, can you have a dream? You said you need to dream for yourself, but I often find myself wishing or dreaming or praying or manifesting maybe on somebody else's behalf or for somebody else. And well, we call it praying or just visualizing a better something for somebody else. And then it happens. And then I'm overwhelmed again by that. And then I was just wondering, was it me or what's happening? Can one do that for somebody else?
Yes, and obviously you're doing it and it's working. So you can do it for somebody else. My talk today was only from like the individual point of view, because I just feel that, and it seems to be more so at the moment, maybe since COVID, but people are just, not all people, obviously, but some people are just not as they used to be. And I just don't want people to lose sight of their dreams. So, I mean, if you're doing it for other people, like, that's great. That, like, good, very good. But, you know, it's just not, if you have your own dream, just not to lose sight of that and just to work towards that.
Yeah, I think that is just the way maybe I am, is that if I know that somebody else will be happy, then I will be happy as well. That will make me, that will make me happy too. And that's the goal in the end of or pray or manifest on their behalf.
Yes. So that's fulfilling you, and maybe that is your dream in a way, to help other people fulfill their dreams.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Then we've got another question here from Angela, and I'll get to Dr. Sam right now.
My old roomie.
Hello.
How are you?
I had to come on board, and yes, I've changed.
You look exactly the same.
Oh, well, actually, I've been much bigger in between time, and I'm coming back down in size again. So it's not much so much a question, but a statement, really. The world needs you. The world needs to reconnect to dreams. Because I mean, I'm in New Zealand and we still feel as if we're under tyrannical dictatorship. And, you know, we've got election looming and going, oh my God, what mess are we going to be in next? So in this environment, it's really hard to have a dream.
It is.
And actually, and there'll be a lot of people who are post-COVID because it impacted every single one of us. I mean, at the beginning, the hardest hit for me was like, oh, there's my dreams out the window.
Yes.
I'm not traveling.
Yes. Yes.
So we sort of got pulled off them.
Yes.
So now's really a chance to actually, because we've been pulled away and they haven't just been in our mind, they've been somewhere else. And we've all changed through the process. We might look at those dreams in a different light, from a different perspective, and go, you know what? That would be better if I added that in.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
And actually make that dream grow and be bigger than it actually was. Because people sometimes dream too small.
Yes.
I think I learned that from, oh God, what's his good psychiatrist who did The Breakthrough. Can't think of his name at the moment. Welcome to menopause. But I remember him saying, "Think, what is your big dream?" And on the back of the book I was writing, I wrote, "My big dream is by the end of my life, I want to see Earth from space."
Which is now becoming a reality.
And I've got at least 30 or another 40 years to go to still experience it. So plenty of time for the universe to manifest.
Correct. And you can't put the universe in a box. It's just, you have your end goal and, you know, you just
maybe we all get that dream when we leave this earth plane and that's the last thing we see. It's not the white light, it's the earth going away. There's not the light at the end of the tunnel. There's always a new beginning.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's me.
Awesome. Oh, thank you, Angela.
Thank you, Angie.
Then Donna, we've got 2 questions here from Dr. Sam. Dr. Sam asks, what would be the difference between a dream and a goal? He was told the difference is the deadline. What is your take on that?
The difference is the what, sorry?
The difference is the deadline.
Okay, so my take on that would be, and I think a couple of the points I made today, it could have been either a dream or a goal, but goals normally do have deadlines. Dreams don't, because obviously you can't, as I keep saying, you can't put the universe in a box and you can't just say, okay, this is my dream and I want it like this time next year. So the universe will, if you're letting the universe do its own thing, like it will open the doors for you. It may be sooner than you think, but no, you can't put a deadline on it. And I would agree with that statement. Like even though goals don't always come by the deadline that you have, they're more tangible, I guess, in the steps that you're working towards. Whereas your dreams, even though you're taking your steps, the steps aren't necessarily planned out ahead of time. So that's more an unfolding as you move through the steps.
Okay. And then his second question is, how much does programming impact your dreams?
Sorry, how much does programming impact
your dreams?
What sort of programming? Like the
I'm
programming
just assuming,
of us?
yeah, like growing up with your parents or school and those
Yeah.
type of programming.
Yes. Well, it has a big impact, but that's obviously part of the learning as you go along. So if you have a dream, even though, because your programming is your belief system. So if you're aware of your belief system, and you would become aware of that because of the way that you think of certain things. But as you go along, if you're doing your visualization, you're feeding that into your subconscious, which is changing your programming, because your subconscious just accepts whatever goes into it. And that's why the visualizing is so important. And it doesn't, and I mean, some people will visualize for, it could be a half hour, an hour, but I'm just saying, like 5 minutes a day. If you can just sit and visualize, like grab your cuppa and just sit there while you have your cuppa, and take the time out to have your cuppa and just sit there and close your eyes and visualize already being at your dream destination. I call it your destination, but having achieved your dream, and you will slowly change the programming in your subconscious.
Awesome. Thank you. If there's any other questions, you guys can drop it in the chat box. I'll give it another minute or so. Otherwise, I just want to thank you, Donna. Very, like I said, very inspiring and a great message to share. Maybe a lot of self-realization that can be done from us.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So it looks like that's all from the viewers today. And I just want to thank everyone being live with us, and thank you, Donna, for joining us this week. I hope you all have I hope you all have a great week, and we'll see you again next week.
Thank
Bye,
you,
everyone.
Chris. Thank you, everyone.